Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode of Boss in Business. I'm Nadine from Ace Entrepreneurs, and today we have an amazing new guest. We have Claudine from Nature's Natural Hair. So hi Claudine, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me on.
You're welcome. So we always start off with just a quick introduction to who you are, what you do, and why you became an entrepreneur. So I'll let you kick off.
Brilliant. So my name is Claudine Collins and I am a hair care coach. I am a travelpreneur, a website creator, and I run a business called naturesnaturalhair.com.
Amazing.
And being a full-time mum as well.
A full-time mum. So how old are your children?
So one is 14 and the other is 7.
Oh, you've got the best of both. You've got like 14 going on 19 and 7 going on 14. So like no one wants to be the actual age.
So so that's pretty much what I do. Oh, and I am a co-author of a book called Blind Spot Volume 2. Yeah. And in that book, I talk about all my past experience of working for various companies and the bad experience and how I've overcome it. So, yeah.
Oh, wow. That sounds amazing. I've just learned a new word, which is intersectionality. Mm-hmm. And I just did an article on it. And basically it's talking about if you are, for instance, a woman of color, or you're gay and a black man, it's like when you're just have more than one points of discrimination.
Yeah.
And the article is all about how does that affect you when you're in the workplace. Is that something you touch upon in your book?
So my title is called Blacklash. And it's basically, so when you're working in an environment and you're the only black person working amongst a lot of others, you tend to get the lashing from people. So purely because you're different. And so mine talks about experiences I've had with managers and how, because I kind of stood up for myself, they told me I was aggressive, I was this, and all the typical words that we would hear from our employers. Yes. So it's all around that.
Wow. I feel like this is something that would come later in the conversation, but we started with it. Why do they use these words? It's like they're trigger words. It's like aggressive, intimidating, not the right fit. You know, there's all these like little coded things that are used against us. And, you know, it's funny because I saw a quote that says, people say I'm intimidating, but actually the other person is intimidated. And it's nothing to do with you. It's them. They have the issue, but we sort of bear the brunt of that burden just by being fabulous, right? And being good. Where did you work? What was your background before you started?
I worked in housing, and it wasn't a field that I wanted to go into because my background in my degree is fashion with business, and I wanted to work in marketing, but life never goes plain sailing. So I ended up working for various housing companies, and it would be income, customer services, home ownership. It would be like in those areas.
Wow. Okay. And this is what you did for the majority of your career before you became a full-time entrepreneur?
Yes, exactly. So I worked with them, and as well as in between construction companies and that. So, I mean, through all of that, it kind of pushed me even more to want to start my business.
Yeah, I can understand why. I can't imagine. How was construction, the world of construction? Were you the only woman of colour there?
Well, in the admin sector, yes. Right. But in terms of having other workers, no, I wasn't. But that's an experience that I wouldn't want to experience again, if you see what I'm saying. It wasn't a fun job to work in or environment.
Yeah, these things, they push us in the direction we're supposed to be in. You know, it's almost like, you know, we are meant to be somewhere. You are supposed to be where you are right now. And it took the force of those roles push you in the position. So in a way, it's kind of nice that you got to it now. And just having a super quick conversation with you earlier this week, you do like everything. You're not just an entrepreneur, you're a serial entrepreneur. So you've touched upon your book, which we didn't even talk about.
Yes.
It's another thing, author, e-commerce, retail business owner, hair expert. Let's finish the list. What else have I missed?
And I've recently started to dabble into stock trading, but I don't, because I'm really new in that area. So I haven't put it out there as yet. But once I kind of fully established and can see like money coming in, then I can say to people, you know what, maybe this might be another source of income you might want to get into, because it's worth for me, this is the proof, you know. So
Wow, it's so impressive. It's so cool. Your book sounds interesting. I'd love to have it as one of my book picks. So each week I have like a book of the week. I haven't had one from an author that I physically know yet. So if you can, what we'll do is two things. I'll add your book to the description below for this video so everyone can go and get it. And then I'd like to read it also. So I'll be using that link. And then give me a chance to read it first, and then I will review it for our...
Yeah, of course. I'd love to. Happy to do that. Thank you.
You're welcome. So are you based in London?
I am. So I'm based in South London.
Okay, cool. And have you always been in South London? Did you grow up there?
Yes, and it's funny because you don't really think about it, but then when you grow in age, you realise, hold on, I've been living in Southeast London for 38 years of my life.
Oh, wow.
And there comes a point in your life where you're like, well, I like to branch out and experience other areas. But yeah, I've been living in Southeast for years.
How is it there? Because I guess some parts are quite diverse and quite mixed, and then there's other parts, I don't know how far out you call South London, which I guess are a bit more one type of person than the other. What's yours?
So there is like a great diverse array of people. So you've got a good mixture, should we say, which is brilliant, because I want my kids to grow up in like a multicultural, like a good mixture of different kinds of people from different cultures. So
amazing. And so you grew up there too?
Yes.
How was your, because I always want to know, you've told me a little bit how you got to the entrepreneurial stage, right? But if we take it to the beginning of growing up in South London with your family, like how was that? And was there anything, did you know what your parents did? Did they have an influence on what you wanted to do as well?
Yeah, so my parents, both parents, they've motivated me in different kinds of ways. And my parents, they were separated. Okay. So my mom is like, I would say she was the breadwinner, because she worked full time in housing as well as studying for her degree. Wow. And also raising all four of us. There's like 4 of us there on her own. And she's always taught us like the fundamental things in life. You wake up in the morning, you clean your house, you go to work, you pay all your bills, and whatever you have left over, you either choose to save it or you choose to invest it into something. But the important thing is, when you're going to college, you go there to get your education, never to make friends. Oh. So you because they always say, if you go to school and you don't come out with grades, the saying is, if you go in school like flour and you want to come out with like dumpling, then by all means.
I've never heard that. I love that.
So that resonated in us, and that made us want to work really hard in school and college and university, because we saw our mum working hard and balancing work and achieving great things.
Yes.
And then the other side is, my dad has been a great mechanic. If you need any help or anything, he could tell you about the science of cars and how everything connects and everything. So, and he's very knowledgeable as well in terms of, like, he knows his history. So if you wanted to ask him something, you have to know to have a whole day to sit there and listen to him. Yes. So from growing up and seeing that, I always wanted to work for myself, and I always said from the age of 12 that I wanted to be a fashion designer, and that's all I knew. I wanted to be a fashion designer and have my own business and have my own line of clothes. And from that point, it made me want to kind of study in the field of fashion. So I did. I went to like London College of Fashion. I did my degree in fashion with business. But then it turned out I wanted to work in marketing because I like creating like materials and leaflets and magazines. And I just love the element of that. So a lot of people say, well, how did you want to become like run your own business? It didn't really stem from anyone in the family that I know.
Yeah.
I just knew I wanted to work for myself and not for anybody else.
We're similar. I studied. I was just thinking as you're talking, I'm like, okay, so I studied fashion as well. I did a fashion degree. I did fashion and marketing at the University of East London.
Yeah.
I actually got a scholarship to go to Central St Martin's, but I was a bit scared. I'm not from London, and I was a bit like, oh, I don't know if I'm ready for it. And then I wanted to do marketing, so I ended up going and maybe that's a similar choice to what you had, because I was like, no, I'm going to go. There was Newcastle, and then there was East London that did marketing, so I picked a backup, and I did like a sandwich course that did both. But yeah, I was like that. I was like, I want to do fashion. Yeah.
And it never turns out that way, because you find your interest tends to spread in other areas within the fashion sector, which is the great thing about it, really.
Yeah. So how was the business section of that course? Did it give you anything that you could still apply today, or was it more of a limited option, so you went for it to go with your fashion?
So it did benefit me, because in the end, I did kind of specialize in the area of marketing. So when I was doing my degree, I had to make a line of clothes, plus I had to learn to market it, price it up. And so like all the elements that is out for the business, I was taught how to do that, but within the fashion element of it.
That's so
So
cool.
it did benefit me from then to where I am now. Yeah.
It sounds like your parents, they were out there doing it. They were out there making it happen. A lot of the people I speak to, their parents were basically they were hard workers. Is the common thread that I'm hearing on a lot of entrepreneurs. And maybe that's why we want to become entrepreneurs, because our view of hard work is normal. So it's normal for us to see everyone around us working really hard. So we can understand that as an entrepreneur. And how long have you been running your businesses for?
Okay, so I've been running my hair business for 2 years.
Okay.
But I've been doing a lot of research and everything around it since 2014. So I started my business in, what are we now, 2020?
2020.
Yeah, so 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. So I kind of built up like a platform, or should I say audience of people, before I started my business, which is what I wanted in effect.
Yeah.
But all the other businesses that I have, they are like really new. So my web design I started in 2019 in November.
Yeah.
And the independent travel one is very recent. I think maybe a month and a half I started that one. Yeah. So yeah, all fairly new.
Wow. I'm seeing a lot of the independent travel, and I wondered how it works now, with COVID and everything going on. How does that work, and why do people need an independent travel agent? Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Okay, so with being an independent travel agent, everything's operational or online, which is brilliant, because as you know, I don't think there's much high street travel agent shops that you can go into these days.
Yeah.
And the way how the market and everything's moving, it seems to be moving online. So it means it's easy, accessible for everybody to make a booking for holidays. And the travel industry is the number one money-making business. And I can't see it going under despite this pandemic, because people are still traveling as we're speaking. They're probably still out laying on the beach, regardless of what's happening around them. And it's not going to stop no one.
Right.
Exactly. And people tend to have to travel because of business.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I just think having an independent travel agent is a good thing, because you can book through them, you can interact with your customers over the phone, and you can get to know what they want and match their needs as well.
Yeah, you're totally right. Actually, you know, I was talking to my friend and he was saying this is the best time to travel. Actually, he said he said the airport is like super super clean and there's nobody there. The only
Yeah.
thing is you have to wear a mask on your face
Yeah.
for the flight, but it's cheaper, it's cleaner. So you know what, you're actually probably right. As long as you've got the funds to get out there, now's a really good time.
Exactly.
I think I'd
And
like to try it. Not the
yeah,
traveling. I've got a 3-year-old. He's not going to wear the mask, so he's going to struggle with that. But I
yeah.
want to try I would like to try going to an independent travelpreneur. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Well, we can talk about that after.
I
Okay.
know. What sort of destinations do you do? Are you everywhere and anywhere, or you
Yeah, pretty
specialize?
much. So if you want to do like cruises, or you want to go pretty much anywhere,
Yeah.
then we can look into that. But I want to kind of narrow down my area and
Mhm.
become specialized in certain areas. So I might want to be like in cruises, especially on cruises or honeymoons and those type of things, or I don't know, luxury holidays. I have to have a think about that. But it would be good to specialize in something.
Yeah, that would be great because I guess then you get like more experience just working on. Say it was luxury, you get more experience in all the luxury, you get to know all the luxury guys from the luxury hotels, you're bringing lots of people in, next thing you know you're getting like benefits and stuff. That sounds good. Go for luxury. I'll be
Exactly.
in for that. I'll be in for that one. Oh my god, a holiday just sounds so good right now. I would just love that.
So much benefits as well to being an independent traveler, because you get to travel at wholesale price. And
Oh.
they do that because they want you to go out and experience like all these different locations and that, so you can even sell it to customers and say, I've been here and it's great and it has all of these benefits. So it's a good thing.
The more you talk about this, the more I'm getting getting interested. This is fabulous. I love that. And now that you've talked about it more, now I kind of understand, because when you sometimes I see in the ads in the groups and stuff on Facebook, and while I understand what a travel agent is, I didn't quite understand what an independent one was. So it makes lots of sense. So hair care. What exactly do you do? I've seen you've got a beautiful, beautiful site. Did you make that yourself? Did you build it?
I did. I built everything you see. I done all myself.
Yeah. So beautiful site, really clean, really responsive. We'll talk about website building later. Let's talk about hair.
Yeah.
What happened? What do you do in hair? Tell us all those areas.
Okay, so I ideally want you to learn to love your hair, right? Regardless whether it's thin, thick, curly, kinky, whatever. I want you to learn how to manage your hair, to care for your hair, and to learn to love your hair, right? And you can do all those things when you have like a regimen in place. And when you have something in place, then it allows you to better care for your hair. And also, we don't want to just be a place that you buy products. We want to educate you in how to use your products in order to
Mm-hmm.
get the best from them, because you could spend your money buying this and that and you find it doesn't really work for you, but you've spent a lot of money on that. And we don't want that. We want you to know, if you buy this product, it can work according to what your hair needs, right? And this is like the steps and how you can these are the steps that you can go by in order to utilize your products effectively. So in a sense, you're not really wasting your money, but you're benefiting from buying these products. So yeah, that's what we kind of want to hone more in, is the education and teaching you how to care for your hair, so you don't have to kind of cover your hair up because you're ashamed of your hair or whatever. We just want you to be proud of your hair.
I love that. And you have beautiful hair.
Thank you.
Which helps. Because if your hair was looking a bit rough, I'd be like, but your hair is looking absolutely gorgeous and beautiful and glossy, shiny, and so, so nice. Do you talk about the process of going from chemical treatments to natural? My team and I were talking about, we knew you were going to be on the podcast today. So we were just talking about, one of my team is keen to go from, she has texturized hair through to natural hair. And it's just like, do you do the chop? Do you do the gradual? And I said, I'm going to ask Claudine. So you tell us the advice for that, because that's the movement, isn't it?
Yeah, so it all depends on you. Like for me, I just jumped in and I did like a gradual chop rather than just with the big chop, because that was my hair and I was used to having like long straight hair. So cutting it gradually kind of worked for me. But you might find some people might just do a straight transition. So rather than cut it completely, just grow it completely out. But the only thing that you have to remember is you're dealing with two textures of hair. And there's like a fine line where it becomes extremely fragile. And you might find when you're using natural products on relaxed hair, it might not work very well for two different textures. So again, it's finding, what works for you. You might want to transition it all like throughout, or you might want to gradually cut, or if you're brave enough, do the big chop so you're starting on, like new grounds, as we say.
Wow. Big chop. Make sure you got the head shape for it. Just pull it back and have a look first.
Yeah. You have to just know what you're going to feel comfortable in.
Yeah, I had some not fun stories with relaxers, so I'm definitely a natural for life. But I think what I did was I think I chopped it kind of close to where it was supposed to be, quite close, and then I had to keep chopping it until it got all of the relaxer bit had gone. But my hair doesn't like relaxer anyway. It just doesn't horror story for another time, but no relaxers going near my hair. But yeah, I love the fact that you're giving tips on this, and I think lots of people want to do it, but they just don't know how. So having a platform that they can go to, and can they ask questions to you? Like, how do you give the tips and stuff?
So they can sign up to my services if they wish to. There's two that I offer. There's like a 30-minute one where you can have a quick chat and I can learn about what you're doing with your hair briefly. And then there's a more in-depth one. So like if you want me to have like a longer chat with you, you get like a questionnaire sent so I can understand what you're doing with your hair on a daily basis or on a weekly basis. And we formulate a regimen and we just go from there. So it's more digging deep and helping you to create a plan. And the other one is like giving you tips and suggestions on what you can do.
Love. You had a really good video, which I commented on last week, about the hair mask. What's your thoughts on the hair mask? Like clay hair mask?
Well, clay hair masks, they have good benefits in terms of detoxing your scalp and which is what ideally you want, to have your scalp cleanse and clean, because healthy hair grows on clean scalp. But you might find that some people might not have like a good relationship with it. So everyone's hair texture is completely different. Even though you and I might have similar, what I use might not necessarily work in your hair. So I always say to people to just trial and test things and see if it works for you. And if it doesn't work for you, then take notes of like the key ingredients at the back and see what ones didn't work. And then when you're going to buy, then you look at the ingredients and make sure you're not buying with those ingredients that didn't work in the first place. It's a constant learning process.
Oh yes. That is a really good tip. I never thought of that you need to check the ingredients, because it's most people will go, okay, Cantu doesn't work, I'll go to Sheer Moisturizer or whatever it might be, but we're missing the main thing, which is it's an ingredient. It's not actually brand.
Because not everything that says natural is necessarily 100% natural. So yeah, always check the back. My advice. Yeah,
I like that advice. The first time I did it, I kind of slipped it on. Bad move. Don't do that. It's like a mask, so your hair will go completely and then I was really scared because it was the way I did it was not the right application.
So she mixed hers up with I think apple cider vinegar and some other thing to formulate the paste. And yes, when you apply the mask, it will harden your hair, but that's in a sense what you want it to do, because then it will help to strengthen the hair and obviously cleanse the scalp and that. and then you want to thoroughly rinse your hair out, like so the clay is completely out of your hair. Some people might not like the hardening effect of it, but then you don't have to do that mask. You can create like other masks as well that doesn't give you the hardening effect.
I'm learning so much. I'm coming for a consultation.
Yeah, when you're ready.
So that's so cool. I love that. Everything to do with hair. We've got your site below. Go and check it out. The videos are really cool. Show you how to put the application of the products onto your hair, and then there's lots of Q&As and stuff. But check out the site, really nice. And I wanted just to talk to you about that because building a website is not easy by any stretch of the imagination. How and why and when did you learn those skills, and how's it going?
Okay, so first of all, it started off like a hobby, to be honest. And I just had the interest because I like creating things. Like I do like my own newsletters, and I started doing magazines as well for like in Nature's Natural Hair. And then I thought, you know what, let me just get into building a website. And obviously, to start my business, I didn't have the money to pay a designer to create it. So I thought, let me design mine own myself. And I knew in my mind how I wanted my website to be, but I was viewing it in terms of the customer. I wanted it to be user-friendly, easy for them to navigate around, and easy for them to put their products in. So have buy options on the page so that you could just click, 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 click. So when I started to create mine, I started to develop the taste to want to create more. So then I had another client who's a trichologist, and she asked me if I can help her to create her website. So I was ecstatic, and it kind of, from then I created her, she loved it. I just had the passion to kind of go on more. So it kind of turned out from a hobby to like a business.
Wow, amazing. And this is just another string to your bow. How are we fitting all these things in? Just checking.
That's a very good question, but planning is a must.
Oh, yeah.
Like before, I did ask my question myself that, Claude, how can you have your hands in so many different things and like be a full-time mum as well as help them with their homework and then housework and everything? But I had a coach, and I had a business coach, and investing myself and my money in having a mentor helped me immensely, because I did have my hand literally in everything, doing my accounts, doing this, creating this website, doing that, taking calls, replying to emails and stuff. Yep. And my coach was like, you need to put a pause. You need to create like every day. This day, like Monday, I'm going to be doing my admin work. Tuesday will be design creation. Wednesday will be, and so forth. And since adopting that mentality, I've just been planning like that, and it's worked. It's helped me to kind of be on top of everything.
Wow, that's amazing to hear. Planning will save everything. Sometimes we're just going, we're like, oh, I can do that, I'll just add it, I'll just, you know, and you're just like racing, and then the end of the day comes, you're exhausted, but you probably haven't got everything done that you plan to get done because you're not focused. I'm with you on the mentoring is definitely part of ACE. I do mentoring. We have other mentors there, and planning. I'm always talking about banging on about planning. Plan your week for success. If you don't plan for success, you're basically planning to fail or not do as well as you want to do. But I love the fact you're the second person that I've interviewed that's had a coach.
It's so much needed. Before I thought I could do it on my own without one, but then there's the realization is now, Claude, you need to invest. You need to invest in help. And having that help has helped me immensely in my business. It really has.
Fantastic. Do you like give yourself some big goals for each week, or are you just continually working on a monthly rolling milestone of some kind?
Yeah, so I do. Even though like I have my basic plan, because I always plan myself in the evenings, what I'm doing like the next day. But I always like kind of said, okay, as much as I'm doing this, I want to like achieve this. So today I might say, okay, I want to get people interested in becoming an independent travel agent. So my aim is to find 20 people that would want to earn extra income. And then the next day will be like, I need to get 5 people on my books for web creation. So yeah, I always have like a target in my mind and something that bit more extra, if
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying. Yeah.
I love the fact you put hard numbers next to it. That's really cool. I mean, look, it's a challenge, but
Yeah.
how do you get anywhere if you're quantifying it? Just by saying like 5 of these, 20 of this, that actually is really, really cool. And a tip we would definitely say, this is one of the best tips we've heard so far on the podcast. Put some real goals in place, and yes, they might seem big, and maybe you don't know how you're going to do it, but at least if you put the number in,
Yes.
then it's in your mind, and you're like 5, and you're going to hit that.
You're going to want to hit that, and at least out of the 5 or the 10, even if you end up with 5, at least it's something that you started off and had nothing. So yeah.
Listen to this, guys. These are the tips you need to know. Okay, that's really cool. And how do you plan around your children? I know they're a bit bigger now, so maybe they're kind of like doing their own thing. Is that how you work it?
Yeah, so thank God my older one is old enough to kind of help around. So she does help me a lot. So when I have lots of orders,
Yeah.
she will help to box them up and take them to the post office. That frees me completely to work on other things.
Wow.
And also she helps with the little one. So where I'm busy, she'll jump in and say, okay, Mum, don't worry, I'll take care of Ava. She'll cook dinner, she'll clean. Yeah. So I'm blessed in that sense.
Wow.
And the younger one, what she sees the old one do, she starts to adopt it. So when she wake up, she'll make my bed, she'll clean, she'll make me coffee, and I'm like, "Are you feeling all right, Ava? Did I miss something along the line?"
Oh
Yeah.
my days! You got them ready. This is like life lessons. They don't even know it, right?
This is it.
Yeah.
This is it. And it all stems from my mum. She's drilled it in us from a young age. And when you grow older and have children, you tend to adapt some of that principle to your kids. Teach them while they are young, so that when they grow older, they never depart, as my mum always says.
Oh man, is that dumpling saying, Jamaican saying?
Yeah, my mum has names, and when we're young, we're like, "Mum, what does that mean exactly? Is that like one of your sayings back home?" And she says, "Yes, that's something we would say." So, yeah, going in school like flour and come out like dumpling, then you could go straight to work.
Hey,
So,
I love dumplings. Is your background? Are you Jamaican, or your yeah?
all parents are from Jamaica. I'm
Jamaica.
born here, but yeah.
Same. It's so weird. All the people I've interviewed, I have not asked them where they're from. Obviously, we're all brown, right, fair enough. But I didn't ask anyone, and I think 90% are Jamaican. And I don't know how this has happened because I don't really like. It's just weird. Usually, it's like from a different country. So this is so cool that we're meeting so many people that have, parents have come over to make a better life, or they've changed their destination where they wanted to live. Now we're out here doing it as entrepreneurs. It's like really cool.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
My nan used to call me a little dumpling, just what made me laugh. My dad used to send us to the corner shop. We were pretty young actually. I feel like I was not 10, or maybe I was 10 or so, that kind of age. But these little things you're doing,
Yeah.
they get instilled in you. It's like a little confidence boost. Mum trusts me to go to the shop, and I've got this little task, and you're completing the task, you're taking money, bringing back change, like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. You're learning, but as a child, you don't really think of it that way. You're just thinking, oh, I'm independent now. I'm able to go out and shop on my own with no one holding my hands. But as you're growing, you're starting to realize, oh, actually, my mum was teaching me, this is my money. I need to make sure I'm bringing back change. So again, you're learning maths. You're not really subconsciously realizing it. And then again, it's a task that you're given, and you want to make sure you achieve it, because if you go back home, you don't want to hear grief or anything. So, yeah.
Yes, I remembered when the paper that my dad wanted wasn't there, because I'd gone too late or something. And then you'd have to think, okay, I have to make a decision. What other paper do I get? All these little things you don't even realize that they're teaching you about decision making, about finances, about responsibility, confidence. And then you just go through life, and it's not until you're a parent and then you look back, or maybe you're maybe you're over 30, let's say, and you look back and then you're like, okay, I understand all those lessons now. Cool. Asking, this is going to be a tricky one because you span a couple of different genres, but maybe we can talk about being a serial entrepreneur. So if you were to give 3 tips to someone out there who's looking to not just run one business but actually run a couple, maybe they're not doing it yet but it's in the plan for their future, what kind of tips can you give them to set them on the right path for success?
Okay, so my first one is don't procrastinate. Like, if it's in your mind and in your heart and you know you're ready, go ahead and do it. Don't allow anyone to say to you, you can't do it, it's not a good time because X, Y, and Z. Because the reality is there's never a good time for anything. And if you don't take the risk, you're never going to know if it's going to succeed.
Yeah.
So go ahead and just do it. Do it today rather than wait tomorrow.
Great tip.
And the other one is never really share your ideas with people, because you find people don't get your idea or where you're coming from, and so they will put a spanner in the works. So believe in yourself, and run with what you believe will be in excess. And sometimes what you keep quiet, allow the success of it to speak more.
Yes, I call that one less talk, more action.
That's it.
Yeah. That's the one. And I totally agree. Like, be careful, because it's easier for people to find holes in your idea for some reason than just to be like, that sounds great, go for it. Instead they'll be like, oh, are you sure? Maybe, and all this other stuff, and that creeps into your mind, doesn't it? So believe in yourself.
Exactly. You don't want to have doubt and fear, because that will prevent you from doing what you should. Yeah. And loyalty. Be careful not to be loyal to the wrong people, because you'll be disappointed along the line. Like, be loyal to yourself.
I haven't heard that one before, but I like that one a lot. I like that one a lot, because you find yourself like, don't forget about number one, like the one you wake up with, the one you go to sleep with, the one you look in the mirror with, like all day long, it's you. So if you feel like you need to put you first, put you first. Doesn't mean you're not gonna think about other people. It just means you're number one.
Exactly. And when you learn that, and you learn to love and care for yourself, then no one can't tell you anything different, because you know who you are.
Very good. What gems. I love the advice that we're giving out. We're all moving in our own circle, in our own little universe. Having spoken to a lot of the entrepreneurs, the level of work and skill and dedication and passion is through the roof. Like, it's just, we've literally been speaking for 40 minutes. I have a real picture of how hard you work and how much you're achieving. We have to remember there's lots of us out there doing this. So if for any reason you're like, oh, I don't know if I can do it or whatever, understand it can be done. Plan.
Exactly. But then nothing ventured, nothing gained. So you don't want to be those ones to say years down the line, oh, I wish I had done this, I wish I had done that. Just do it. Do it.
Yeah, and often what might happen is you will have an amazing business idea or concept or whatever it is that you want to do, or job you want to take, and you'll be like, oh, nah. And then you'll see someone else do it and you'll get mad.
Yeah, it happens quite a lot.
Just do it. Just go out there and have a go. What's the worst that can happen? You decide not to do it. Fine. You know.
And don't be afraid to do something that someone will, like, there's loads of people that has hair shops.
Yes.
But what makes yours different, that's the key thing. Make yours that one that's different from theirs. Yeah. And don't be afraid to start it. Like, the business isn't created for one person, it's created for everybody.
Yes, exactly. And yeah, you know what, they're really great points. It's about, a hair shop is not going to cater for everyone. Okay,
Exactly.
so you need to go out there and find, if you have a really, you know, you've got a hair shop and there's another hair shop on my high road or whatever, maybe you're the difference, that's the reason that I go to your shop. Maybe you specialize in natural hair, maybe you have an intimate setting. There's so many different unique selling points you can have for your business. Think of what they are. It's definitely going to be centered around you, isn't it, and your personality.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, definitely that.
Because now I know you, like I would want you to be like giving me tips and stuff about my hair, you know, like, because I get like, I feel like a rapport with you. That's not
Yeah,
going to be with everyone, so get out
exactly.
there and go and get it done. We need more black owned businesses, more diverse owned businesses,
Yeah.
and the more streams of income like Claudine's got, is the more opportunity to make money, right?
You want to build a future for yourself. You've got children, you want to build for them.
So what's your big goals? Do you have big goals for 2020? What are you trying to do? Like hit?
I want to add more income streams. I want to be in a position to build everything that I wanted, my house, to have my business branch out to various countries.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to be in a position to help so much more people on how to care for their hair. Like, stop wearing coverings in your hair and just like learn to love yourself, you know. I want to kind of dabble into the skincare element of it and kind of teach people that are in like hot countries, you need to wear sunscreen.
Yeah.
You need to care for your skin at a very young age. And you need to do a lot of like stop coloring your skin and just appreciate the skin that you're in. So the aim is to like branch out and just become known. I want my name to be known everywhere.
That's great. Big goals mean you're going to achieve either that goal or something quite close to it. So that's why you want to go big, you know, with your goals. Don't keep them tiny. Take over the world, you know, if you can. Try your best. And there's room basically for everyone. There's room for all of us. There's so many people in London, in UK, you know, there's people everywhere. Not one business will be able to service all of them. We need to have lots of little ones. So do you have mantras that you go by
Yeah.
or things like that?
Yes, before I didn't, but my mentor always said it's very important to have one.
Yeah.
So look in the mirror and always say to yourself, I am loving, I am lovable. I tell myself all the time, Claude, you are this, you're lovable, you are great, you are awesome, you are fantastic, you are intelligent, you can do all things, you are successful, you are rich, you are, you know. So I tend to tell myself time and time again when I feel a bit low or discouraged, that was like my pick me up. So I'm like, yes, I got this far, and I'm not going to allow anything to kind of stop me from going even further.
Love it. Love it. That's so cool. I wrote a big love heart on my son's blackboard just to remind that, you know, amongst all the striving and hustling and everything, it's just love, really, you know.
Yeah.
So keep it in mind. It was there till he rubbed it off. 3 great tips. But were there any like big poignant moments in your business, or even, yeah, let's stick to business, in your business life, that you remember and they taught you something that you carried or changed your direction?
Yeah. So, like for me, I always think big and I plan big, and I sometimes my planning can be like, some people say unrealistic, but in my mind I'm no, I'm going to achieve this. So when you do your business plan, when you have to give a projected cash flow, it's very hard to predict something that's you know, you can't really see
Yeah.
then. So because my prediction is always high, when I started my business, I always had high expectations that no, I'm going to hit this, I'm going to do this amount of sales every month, and I'm going to market myself, and I'm going to spend money on the marketing element of it. And I just find that it kind of had a lot of backlash because you tend to spend your money in areas where you didn't really need to spend your money, and you could utilize other resources to get yourself out there with very little money.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have expectations of how much profit you want to make or how much sales you want to make, it's better to have a realistic sale amount so that you're able to hit that target. So, you know, I need to have 20 customers or 10 customers. Make sure that you get those customers coming into your store and buying. But again, it's why should a customer want to buy from you, and having that always in your mind. So my mindset was completely off the mark, and it kind of set me up to fail and feel upset and discouraged. But then it allowed me to learn from it. So you kind of look back at that side and then you reflect and you look at areas of what not to do and what areas you can do in order to not fall back in that trap again.
That is a big lesson, isn't it? Because you want to be ambitious and you want to strive, and it's a bit different to what we talked about earlier when you said, okay, I'm going to get 5 new, because they're smaller sort of stepping stones to your big milestone. Keep it in reality.
Exactly.
And in a way that is the right place that you have to be in reality, because your business plan is usually like an external document, isn't it? That's needed for others to understand your business. Like,
where is it going? Is there potential for your business to thrive, for me to want to invest my money in it? So yeah, just be realistic as possible.
Yeah, and then as you go, you can tweak your business plan, because you could be like, actually, you know what, I'm going to make more than that, or I'm going to take off this marketing route because it isn't working, and I said I'm going to focus on this. And it's an evolving document, as long as you learn, like basically as long as you learn from it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Life in general has lots of lessons. You go through a lot of hardship, but it makes you stronger, it makes you wiser, and it makes you look at areas that, you know, went wrong and areas that you can improve to make self better.
Yes. And so you started off with fashion in mind, and then you went marketing. And obviously, I think combination of that plus your business degree and creative side has brought you to this position now. Do you feel happy with your position at the moment, or are you thinking about future? Like, where's your mind at?
Okay, I am happy in my position. Good. Because when it gives me areas to expand it even more. So yeah, I'm happy. Yes.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that. We race through life, don't we? We're just like, tomorrow, I'm going to do this. And it's like we forget to stop and be like, right now, you're doing really, really good. Like when you reeled off all that stuff on the phone, I was like, oh my days, this lady is doing it. She is really doing a lot. And this is not it. This is not the end. You've got more to go. So, you know, I got to like say, well done to you, and like keep going. I can't wait for everyone to see your success and your story and what you're trying to achieve. I think they're going to be really motivated by seeing that. Like, you know, some people have work hard, play hard, and that kind of stuff. What do you do when you're not working and doing all your business things?
Okay, so the weekend for me, I dedicate for myself, because before I used to just work all around the clock, and I used to work like late hours, early morning, and I'm like, I had to pause and like, I don't have time for me. I have to always squeeze my kids in to the time I have. So I make it a thing now that no, weekends is for me. It's for me to reflect, self-care, look after myself. The kids sometimes will be out like with family members, so I get even more time with me to read and to learn and to just re-educate myself and prepare myself ready for that Monday. So when Monday's here, I'm like, yep, we're ready to go now. So
yeah, that working on the weekend thing, that is not the one at all. Don't know, you've got slightly older kids, but my son does not appreciate it. I had to do a Zoom call on Saturday, and he was just like rah, throughout the whole call, which is, I guess, his way of saying get off the computer. So can't work all day. Do you like have a time to get out into nature, or is your self-care more like rest, reading, education, that kind of stuff, or are you like getting out and doing something completely different?
Yeah, so it's kind of a mixture of both. So like I might have the weekend where I just want to stay in and just be me, like have myself to really do those things. And then there might be times where I need to go and connect with my friends because I'm busy working throughout the week and they're busy working. And it's like it's important to keep the connection there and the network there, so you don't feel you're isolated and alone. And it's just good for your overall health, like to have fun, laugh.
Yeah, don't forget to laugh. That's a good one. I have loved having you on as a guest.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it was.
First one.
It's your first one?
First podcast interview, yes.
Good. I'm glad it was with ACE. That's so exciting. And thank you for also being a member of ACE. We love the fact that we're getting all of these amazing diverse entrepreneurs into one place. As we're busy growing right now, but you know, at some point we're all going to get together for some kind of conference, event, something where we can just be like seeing each other, because everyone's being super digital right now. We can't get to see each other in person, but it's coming.
I hope so. It would be really nice to reconnect with people, you know.
I hear you. Thank you for coming on. It's been amazing talking to you and also being a member of ACE. We love that. So to close, do you want to promote yourself? And you can promote everything that you want, and I will make sure everything is listed below. So yeah, go for it, Claudine.
Okay, so you can connect with me on various platforms, but if I give you my main website, you can kind of link up like to my Instagram and Facebook page on that. So my website for hair care products, and if you want to subscribe to my services, is naturesnaturalhair.com. And if you want like a website that's created for yourself, then you can go to claudinique.com. Or alternatively, you can email me on info@naturesnaturalhair and say, I would like help with my website, and then we can have a talk in relation to that. And in regards to my travel business, if you're interested in wanting to join, then you can email me at thetravellagoon@gmail.com, or you can visit my Facebook page, which is Claudine Collins. That's my own personal page. And you can connect with me there, and I'll be happy to talk you through how you can join to become an independent travel agent. Or if you just want to book a holiday with me, I can share you the link as well there. So those are like my main platforms, and all the links to like my Instagram, my email, Facebook page, Pinterest is all listed on there, so you can connect there and follow and subscribe. And that's including my YouTube channel as well. So I do that to kind of help you to care for your hair and product suggestions. So that's Nature's Natural Hair.
She's taken over, just so you know. So if you want to create a business, you need to get cracking. Claudine is on the way now. That's amazing. I love the list. It's just like and we'll say 7 streams of income is what you need, passive and active streams, in order for you to really make a large sums of money in life. Claudine, it's been amazing. Make sure you go and check out everything that she's up to below. An amazing serial entrepreneur. Let's all take a lesson out of her book, and make sure that we're planning for success, and also taking every opportunity and believing in yourself in order to achieve your dream. So thank you again for watching. Thank you, Claudine.
Thank you.
We'll see you again next week for another episode of Boss in Business with 8 entrepreneurs. All the links are below. Subscribe, like, share, and comment on all of our podcasts. It helps us grow and helps share the word. And we're all about supporting and amplifying diverse entrepreneurs. So do go ahead and join ACE. It's absolutely free, and we can't wait to welcome you there. So bye for now. See you next week.
Bye.